Testing, 1, 2. Ah, now I've got it. Do me a favor, Tom. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are you?
Good to see you. Sorry.
No.
Yeah, we're
I
actually
understand what
streaming. We're
professionals
streaming
do.
it.
I figured you were.
We have a few people that we'd like to share this, and
Yeah, who are we missing?
my mom and a couple of the relatives who weren't able to travel, but my dad is here, and
Is Maureen gonna?
no, you're online right now. So, could you do me a favor and just stand up here and just kind of recite the
Do you want me to dance? Do you want me to say anything?
Okay, well, we are streaming.
Wow, and the sound is amazing. You want me to say anything? Want me to dance? Oh,
I brought out a satellite dish too, so we're literally live via satellite.
wow.
Because I have the Starlink, satellite dish,
Yeah.
and that's hooked up in the van as well. So, so we don't rely on cell phone service.
What happens if you stop becoming a professional? What are we going to do?
As long as I don't get rid of the hardware, I'll be okay. Hello, everybody. Yeah.
So you will have a church service in the background. That's the problem with Sunday morning here. You hear the drums?
I wondered what that was.
Yeah,
It was either that or band practice.
yeah, it's actually across the street. Oh my God, can I hire you?
As you well know, you can't.
Well, thank God I'm not working anymore. Or at least I'm working in a subservient capacity, which I wanted to do from the very beginning anyway.
Oh, good for you. Unfortunately, this is.
I don't think it's been cleaned since 2016.
Well, they did put Sylvia's name on here, so.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, so it must have been cleaned.
But there's like some kind of something.
Wow,
Cleaner, but
it is stained.
you should see the schmata that they put out here.
Oh, is it around here?
It's stuck in the van. It looks like somebody's throwaway tablecloth.
Yeah, let's just leave it.
Yeah, no, we'll leave it when we're done.
Yeah. How are the kids?
They're good. They're both here. God bless. And our daughter-in-law.
Oh, when did that happen?
About almost 2 years ago now.
Okay.
And she just started a new job at the New York Times as an editor.
What kind of editor?
She's the online editor for the business section for the New York Times.
Oh, okay.
Exciting stuff.
They need to revitalize their obituary writers.
Ah, well, you can have her put in a good word.
I think it's unfortunately, with so many places, they've really cut down on their good staff.
Some might say it's a dying art, right, Tom?
Well, I got to tell you, I know you're being funny, but there was a great documentary on the New York Times obit writers, and they are, they used to be amazing writers, and they just don't have that anymore. There was they just did an obit on someone in our community, Peggy Hitchcock. So she was part of the Mellon family, that very wealthy Mellon family, and she was involved with Timothy Leary and the Dalai Lama, and they really shortchanged her by spending most of the time in the obit talking about her relationship with Timothy Leary, and not her really amazing philanthropy work. I used to use some of their obits in sermons because they were so well written. So how's everything with you?
Good. A funny thing happened a few months ago. I decided that it was time to pull the trigger and go to Social Security. And then my phone started ringing, and I went back to Social Security. Turns out I didn't do that. Just like paying back a couple of months' checks.
Right.
Was for the last 4 or 5 years.
Right. How old are you?
I'm 65.
Okay. Yeah, I'm 67. Haven't dipped in there yet. I think you have to start when you're 70 or something.
Well, you can start as early as like 60.
Yeah, I'm fine. But
Yeah. But
yeah.
there's advantages to waiting.
Right.
There's also disadvantages.
What are the disadvantages?
So the disadvantages to waiting are actually not making money. You're better off getting it early, even though it's less money, because it adds up on a month-to-month basis. And that was a calculation I did because I wasn't working on it. Now all of a sudden I'm working, so I'm kind of double jeopardy because I'm actually making money which is costing me.
Right.
With a penalty. And I don't need it, and if I wait, I get more.
Right.
And if you wait till a certain time, like 66 plus some number of months, then you no longer have a capital. So that's what you're leading to. She wants to keep using the code.
I should look into that.
Because so it's a little counterintuitive, but
Right.
once you understand it, it's actually pretty simple.
Okay.
So, but in the calculations I made, just the data changed.
Right. Well, I have another advantage that and I haven't delved into this yet, is I can take some of my pension, and as long as I utilize it for household expenses, it comes to me tax-free. Because whatever, I bought into the system that ministers in the United States have what's called parsonage,
Right.
and that is
This is
perpetuity. That's that's not included in your gross income. It's used for Hey there. Spoke to Samuel a couple weeks ago. Seems to be doing okay.
Yeah. Got surgery a couple days ago.
Oh, he did? What kind?
Prostate.
Okay. To do what to his prostate? Make it smaller? Okay.
He says he's been waiting 40 years for this.
Okay, so now we can pee better.
Yes.
Oh,
So I was one of those almost 20 people who came down with either food poisoning or norovirus from Jacob's Bar Mitzvah.
Jacob.
The Nadine people. A bunch of us. There's like 20 people. 10 kids were out.
Wait, this is what's her face's son from Nadine?
Yeah.
They joined the congregation?
Apparently.
Wow. I'm
But there's
impressed.
like 20 people that got sick.
Oh.
Whether I was sick from there or something else, couldn't tell you. But it was a rough week.
Yeah. Sorry to hear it.
Sylvia now became sergeant
We've
now.
been,
Wow.
we've been burying the stones already.
She had my parents.
Headstones.
Alan,
Yeah, I think it's what they did with the K's. They're a little bit buried. Okay.
Yes.
Couldn't have smaller pebbles? Gotta be big ones. Well, that one's okay. These are sizable.
Yeah, hopefully
No, I'm okay. No, I didn't say that. I never say that.
where it's covered. Otherwise, yes, the website and
Yeah?
with Al.
Same old? New old? It certainly can be.
Yeah, I went into the wrong end.
I know I'm spoken to.
We have a few people who are going to be watching online. So that's got a satellite dish. People really appreciate the fact. Yeah.
He's hiding behind you. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hanging in there.
Okay, I'm good.
Yeah, see where
Oh my
the
God, cousin.
cover is over
How
there?
are you? I'm good. Did you bring your current wife?
And there's, I think there's shade over here.
Your next one. Okay. Yeah.
The immediate rest of
She's okay. Yeah, no, she decided she couldn't make it this morning. So she got stuff going on with her. So we
the
will
rest of us now. Unfortunately, I got
work those out.
well, mostly because
And the latest family thing is we have to pull up Herschel's headstone because he's got the wrong Hebrew name. But we got to get his son's approval to do it.
you're good here.
So
You're good here. No, you're fine right here. And we've got chairs for you to sit in. Hi, Louie.
Dad,
That's enough of that.
yeah.
and when his aunt died, at the end of noticed that her date of birth was 11/20/20 instead of 11/14.
This is about St. Joe? Right, right.
Louie, up. If you guys want to come over, there's chairs right here in the shade.
Yeah, to see your mom there. Right. Yeah.
So the first year on his dad's birthday, we called his cousin and said, "Happy Dave's birthday." No, only Dave's birthday.
Well, I never checked my grandmother's headstone. She, when I was doing the genealogy, some of the documents were off by a year. And I was like, what is going on here?
Walking stick? You want me to get it?
Yeah, he chuckled.
It's pretty good.
She was actually born a year before my grandfather, and it was unseemly for her to be older than her husband. So all other official documents, she was born a year later.
Get you over in the
So,
chair.
I don't know what's
Do you
on
want to
it.
come over?
Yeah, you don't have his phone number, do you?
That was fun. Right.
Yeah, right. Right, I know that.
Drink? I've got water.
Yeah, I mean, that's Marcia's concern about Jeff is he holds him on the phone for 45 minutes. Yeah.
You're live on the internet. You are. Hi, Iris. Where are you going? Right here where the chairs are. Oh. Hey, Harry. Hey. I'm going to actually move.
Well, Mr. Paley, now I think it's not very formal. I'm going to go take my coat off.
Gee, do you like you want bubble water or you want plain water? Plain. Mr. Miller. Good to see you. I love this side of the earth. You love what? I love this side of the earth. Oh yes. This place is enormous. Crazy big. Crazy big. Is this the only major cemetery in town? No, there's another one on Grant.
Here, I don't want to steal the chair.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah,
I got here early and saw the setup. I'm going, wow.
The Michigas at the house,
It's not-
setting up all the tables. And,
Oh, that's different. No, I like all the electrical stuff.
bless you,
I'll have a cappuccino.
I'm going to call your bluff on that one.
How are you?
All right.
What's new with you?
A little bit nicer.
Oh well.
Yeah.
You know, almost 9 years at New Mexico. I've got the LCSW now, so I've been working in the school setting for about 5 years.
It sounds
Are
like
you
your
in
son.
Albuquerque?
I am between Albuquerque and Santa Fe.
Okay.
So I'm in Rio Rancho.
Okay, well, we'll have to remember that. We do have to drive out to Denver again. We've missed calling you just because Marcia's focus has always been to
Still in
just
the car for
drive
some
through Mexico as quickly as we
Oh,
can
yeah.
and get to
Linda,
her mom's.
why don't you get out of the car?
Now
It's
that
too
she's
hot in
gone,
there.
Come over and just have to go and pick up some stuff.
Why don't you expire the car? Take on your
basement. So.
Well, let me know.
I will let you know. I
Yeah,
have a cousin.
I'm about to transition to a group practice.
Oh, nice.
I have a seat for you. There we go. We're live on the internet. I'll be there in a second because it lags behind for about 10 seconds.
Oh yeah, the car went.
Yeah. Okay. But I've got my satellite. I have a
I'm
satellite
sort of
dish.
retired. I'm emeritus.
See, there you go.
But I'm retired predominantly from the congregation unless I want to do something.
You want to leave him in there?
It's a good place to be.
It's great.
It's
It
not
really
bad
is.
in back.
For other emeritus days from Rabbi White.
Come on over and take a seat.
He never had emeritus days.
You don't think so?
Oh my God, no.
Yes,
No, he
he
left
did.
Temple Emmanuel. He started Colony. But then after,
This is Al and Sil over here where the blanket is.
yeah,
This is Alfred and Sylvia over here where the
Oh,
blanket is.
okay.
yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I think he just enjoyed working.
Think he's okay in the
I enjoyed
car?
work as well, but I'm doing
It's okay in the car. It's not that hot.
Yeah, it
Great.
wasn't too bad.
I don't think this is going to take too long.
Okay.
Go ahead and sit down.
That's what I heard.
surprise book for my mom.
Drink up.
I'm doing some multi-page work.
Those are clever.
What is it?
Oh, that's clever, Aunt Phyllis. They
Max
wouldn't
just
realize
went
it was
by.
a seat. That's your
What
cane
is
is
that?
also a seat.
What is?
Water.
Oh,
Yes. Yes. That's wonderful.
Wow. Beautiful temperature. It's 81, I think, according to my car. Beautiful.
Thank you. I'm trying.
You want anything to drink?
Yeah, this running back there, Marshall Falk.
Michael, would you like to sit in my
No, I'm fine, thank you.
I just realized I'm better off with the other.
Go ahead. That's what they're there for.
You're gonna hear something when you come back to the house. I wrote something. Just kind of
eat the rest of it that night.
so I wrote it down. But I didn't want to read it here. This is not my place.
How are you?
But whose place is it really?
Good. Good to see you. Sure. I had you at
Right.
details in the car.
I'm listening.
I don't know whether
No, I
it's
never
shady
got
in
it.
there or not.
We
It
do, we
was
do.
Shady in that back seat.
Yeah. It'll be fine.
Those are not just canes.
Diaper.
How are you? I have to look forward to it.
You got a front row seat there.
Yeah.
Hey, I see you got the memo about the hats. So that's good.
I didn't want to pay. It's a
Big place.
Well, last time I had Mom at this, she fainted. I picked her up.
Hi, you. I'm Robin. Hi, you.
The heat pad.
I didn't recognize you with the name.
Oh, nice. Hi, sweetie.
Don't step on anybody.
Yeah.
For what? That was
There's famous running back, Marshall Falk.
We're doing it. I
Your
got
directions were
understatement
exquisite.
on
That's
the
what
top.
it looked like now.
Cousin?
That was my award.
Just get, said, told me where to enter, and then she
Was
said,
that
just keep
yesterday?
going west.
It was pink.
It wasn't green.
It's like
Good, how are
something
you?
from like Eastern Europe. Did it? Pretty cool.
Grandma, it might be both Spain
I like the
or
animal.
Portugal.
Oh, with the maybe with the bird.
Oh, that is so cool. That is a great picture. Good. Wow.
Well, they're open somewhat.
Yes,
Right.
They're open, so they are open.
it was dark.
Well, someone took my welder's classes, so I don't have.
It was beautiful.
I'm afraid if
Dark.
they do too much,
This guy looked just like
Well, so in Arizona we didn't get that benefit, but I saw polar clips in Hawaii years ago.
Green was so supportive in Colorado. I was obsessed. We just kept driving.
It is worth it.
I'm in the car.
It is worth it. All right, where did Howard run off to?
Where's your other son?
Oh, there you are. Are we all here? Is it, we don't.
Oh, okay.
It's 10 o'clock.
Yeah, what's Howard? You would know. So our people are here. My dad and me are here. Yeah, I think everybody's here. So while you're speaking, you don't. I mean, you can just stand near the microphone.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Some pebbles for people, yeah. But it's ruining the picture, I can know that. Okay.
I said it was the last frame at the end of the
Whatever you want to do, that's fine.
Yeah. Well, that's Alfred somebody, but it's not our Alfred.
Really? No, I got it later in life.
Yeah, because they do,
Oh, that, okay.
I've got mine, but
Yeah, I wear it.
You're welcome.
I think we're good, Tom.
We are? Okay, good. I'm very good. How are you? Good to see you too. I have never left. It's only been 37 years or something. There should be plenty there. Howard is hiring me to do things like this.
We exchange for
No, I'm doing a lot of family stuff.
That's a bad training.
What's that?
Teaching you how to use your camera.
Oh, well, we have to get back to that because I've forgotten.
Well, the last moonshot you took was very lovely.
Oh, I love it. It's still a little out of focus, but it's people look at it and they go, oh my God.
There you go.
If you all would gather together, I have a few extra cottage sheets if you need them.
Tap on it.
Hey, Lenore. Hey, Howard.
You want to stand on the other side?
I don't hear it gargling.
This is probably fast.
Oh, you've got plenty.
So I want to thank all you family and friends for being here for this unveiling ritual. It's a brief ritual. There's some readings that are familiar to those of us who've attended funerals before. And then there is an opportunity for the family to unveil the stone, and then for any of you to really share your thoughts about Sylvia together as family and friends. Anyone you know? Okay.
Like the car.
Knew you were going to say that.
Tom, could you go a little closer to
Okay. O eternal source of life, bless the memories we cherish. On this day that more than any other affords us glimpses of eternity, may the sorrows we have known be softened by our sense of your infinite wisdom, your unending love, and your eternal presence. May the pains of past bereavements grow more gentle. Indeed, let them be transformed into gratitude to our dear one who died and tenderness to those who are still alive. I bless the eternal from Psalm 16. I bless the eternal who has guided me. My conscience admonishes me at night. I'm ever mindful of God's eternal presence. God is at my right hand. I shall never be shaken. So my heart rejoices, my whole being exults, and my body rests secure. For you will not abandon me to death or let your faithful one see destruction. You will teach me the path of life. In your presence is perfect joy. Delights are ever in your right hand. And of course, well deserved is the reading of Proverbs 31, a woman of valor. A good wife who can find. Her worth is far above rubies. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and nothing shall he lack. She renders him good and not evil all the days of her life. She opens her hand to the needy, extends her hand to the poor. She's robed in strength and dignity and cheerfully faces whatever may come. She opens her mouth with wisdom. Her tongue is guided by kindness. She tends to the affairs of her household and eats not the bread of idleness. Her children come forward and bless her. Her husband, too, he praises her. Many women have done superbly, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceitful, beauty is vain, but a God-revering woman is much to be praised. Place before her the fruit of her hands, and wherever people gather, her deeds speak her praise. And I know at times it's difficult to survive the thought that Sylvia, who was so much a part of our lives for so many decades, that we can survive without her. And that the psalmist understood that. And King David wrote about the eternal presence of God that provides us with some sense of comfort as we see it metaphorically presented in the mountains that surround us. Esainai el harim me'ayin yavo ezri. Esainai el harim me'ayin yavo ezri. I lift up my eyes to the mountain. What is the source of my help? My help comes from Adonai, maker of heaven and earth. God will not let your foot give way. Your protector will not slumber. See, the protector of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. God is your guardian. God is your protection at your right hand. The sun will not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. God will guard you from all harm. God will guard your soul, your going and your coming, now and forever. Mizmor LeDavid, Adonai roi lo eksar, bino deshi yarbitzeni, almei minuchot yancheni nafshi yoshvev, yancheni v'maglei tzedek l'man shemo. Gam ki elek begeit salmavet lo yirara ki ata imadi. Shivtecha u'mishantecha hemayin achamuni. Taroch lefanai shulchan neged so'rai, deshante v'shem en roshi, kosibra vayai. Achtov v'chesed yardafuni kol yemei chayai, v'shavti b'veit Adonai, lo orech yamim. Adonai is my shepherd, I shall not want. God makes me lie down in green pastures, leads me beside still waters, and restores my soul. You lead me in right paths for the sake of your name, and even when I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You've set a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You've anointed my head with oil, my cup overflows. Certainly goodness and mercy shall pursue me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of God forever. So 1,000 years in the sight of our eternal and merciful God are but a day. The years of our life are but a passing hour. God grants us life, and life God receives. Praise be the name of God. Sylvia Paley has been taken from our midst. We're pained by the gap in our lives. Yet love is as strong as death. The bonds love creates are eternal, and ours is the blessing of memory, through which the lives of our departed continue to be with us. So I'd like to ask Howard and Doreen to take the covering off the stone. Standing at Sylvia's grave and Al's grave, who has been taken from her family, their family. We thank you, eternal God, for all that was true and good in their lives, for all that was sweet and inspiring in their character. May this hour consecrated to the memory of the departed bring its message of consolation to this family and these friends. May your love comfort and sustain them, that walking in the valley of the shadow of death they may see your light. In the name of the Paley family and in the presence of their family and friends, we dedicate this monument today to Sylvia's memory as a token of our love and respect. May we honor Sylvia by our actions and our aspirations. May her memory lead us to love you with all of our hearts. Te nishmata tzror b'tzror hachayim. May your soul be bound up in the bond of eternal life. So this is the opportunity not for a eulogy for me, but really an opportunity for family and friends just to share a story or a reflection about what Sylvia means to you all.
I think I'll stop. So it was interesting. I was watching television the other day, and Anderson Cooper was interviewing Whoopi Goldberg, who just wrote a new book. And he asked her what she felt about the loss of her mother. And she said, "I have no regrets." And that kind of resonated with me when I think of my sister, my brother-in-law, and myself, and my wife, and my children. When a parent ages, you're asked to service on a level that's kind of hard to describe. And we were all there for Sylvia throughout our life, and it's because she was always there for us throughout our life. If I was to describe her to you, I would tell you things you already know about her. She was generous, she was kind, she was giving in ways, and she was wise. And I'll take that with me all of my days.
I wasn't prepared to speak. So first off, thank you all for coming. We didn't know who would come or what to expect, and she would be so happy to know that that it's a beautiful day, and that you're not too hot, everybody's comfortable, you have your hats on, and that we're still here for her. You know, my mom was a caretaker in her life. She brought humor, that big, gigantic $1 million smile, and so much love to all of you and to everything that she did from the beginning to the end. And there were those of us who were here with her at the beginning and those of us who were here at that very bitter end. We picked this day, and I want to just appreciate that you're all spending your Mother's Day with our mother, because this was her last good day. And that's what I wanted to remember. I wanted to remember her last good day. So I have so much gratitude and appreciation that you would spend this good day of yours with us to hold her in the spirit of that last beautiful day. So thank you for coming, and thank you for being here, and thank you, Rabbi, for being with us.
Good morning, everybody, and again, thank you for being with us. Sylvia gifted all of us with very special feelings and that incredible smile, as Doreen said. But as her daughter-in-law, she gifted me with unconditional love and acceptance. And I don't know if it's a rarity for most people, but I think it may be for many in-laws. And I was truly blessed to have the presence of Sylvia in my life. She was the bright light, the shining star. She was the stage that we would go to. And I'm saying it that way because she always referred to the world as her stage. And when she worked at Macy's, if many of you may know, she sold jewelry. And, Sylvia loved to get dressed up, as you know, and put on her makeup. And she would go to Macy's and she would be working that counter like she was an actress. And she sold, no surprise, the most of any other employee there. But she was genuine and a beautiful soul and loved our children dearly, as she did all of her grandchildren. So thank you for honoring her memory today.
I want to echo what Doreen said and what everyone has said, that we're so grateful that you all would come and pay your respects and honor Sylvia. I'm her son-in-law. I'm Doreen's husband, Steve. And I, more than anything else, was struck the moment I met Sylvia and Alfred by their incredible joy and the spirit with which they approached their lives. And it's really served as a model for me. I know it has for our children, who revered her. And we all miss her. And I'd like to call attention to the headstone that obviously has Alfred and Sylvia's names on it. But in between those names, it says, "Let's dance," which speaks for itself with the way they approached life. So I hope you have an opportunity to reflect happily on however they crossed paths with you during your life, because I'm just full with gratitude today. So thank you.
Thank you all so much for being here. My name's Max. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Sylvia's grandson. And looking back on her funeral service, which many of you attended, I spoke there too, and I spoke about the Grandma Sylvia that I knew. I would never talk over a Mustang. So I spoke about the Grandma Sylvia that I knew, who I assumed was the same Grandma Sylvia, the same Sylvia Paley that all of you knew. But I was wrong. I knew I had a very special, singular relationship with my beloved grandmother, but all of you did. She had a very special individual relationship with everyone who spoke that day, and I believe she had one with everyone who came, and many people who weren't able to come. They all had a Sylvia that they knew and that they remember. And the Sylvia that I remember, she wasn't a joke teller like my grandpa Alfred was, but she was funny. And I think that she let my grandpa Alfred have the spotlight while he was alive. And then after he died, we got to meet Sylvia the comedian. And I just want to give one example of that, we had jokes that we kept returning to. Our material was a little repetitive. We would just hook into a few lines and repeat them incessantly to each other and crack each other up over the phone. And one of them was, I was in California. She was there with my parents, who did so much, I just have to say, to sustain her and to make what we knew would be the last chapter or the last few chapters of her life as meaningful as possible. These people preserved her and gave gave and gave and gave for my grandma. Well, we were talking about people who we commonly held in low regard. None of you. And she wanted to call them one thing, but she couldn't say it out loud to me, so she called someone a chicken plucker. And you all know what that sounds like. So this became a line that we just repeated and repeated and repeated. And I loved it, and she loved saying it. But one night she had a bell next to her bed that my parents put there. She rang the bell, and most times she rang the bell, she needed help with something. But my mom came upstairs. She said, "Grandma's asking for you." I thought, "Oh God!" And I went downstairs. She was propped up in her bed in the area of the living room that my parents set up for her. And she said, "Max, are you there?" I said, "Yes." She said, "I have to tell you something." And I said, "What is it?" She said, "My uncle was a chicken plucker." A real one. and I said, "Wow." And she said, "You wouldn't hold that against me, though." I said, "No, Grandma, I wouldn't." She said, "Okay." And she went to sleep. So I just wanted to tell you all that story. That was the Grandma Sylvia that I knew and that I'm sure many of you knew. And may God bless her memory, and thank you all for coming again today.
I just want to say to this Paley family, thank you for sharing your mom with us. Definitely special. She was very special to me. She signed. My name is Sheila Paris. I'm married to John Velez over there, and she now signed our marriage certificate. That's how special they were to us. So like a second set of parents here. But best of all, she was my mom's best friend here, and I remember her coming in my mom's last days, comforting her as well. So thank you very much for your mom. Thank you, Sylvia.
So I just want to share a couple things. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be here for the funeral last year, but she was special, as you all know, in so many different ways. She and Al would attend our Torah study every Saturday morning, and at their age, nothing against, this isn't an ageist remark at all, because I'm getting there, but they came to learn, but whenever both of them spoke, the room sort of fell silent, because we knew coming from both of them would be words and pearls of wisdom every time they opened their lips. And even when Al got sick and could no longer come, Sylvia remained and would attend as long as she possibly could. And again, we were so attentive for her desire to learn more, but more importantly, for her to share, her thoughts about what the Torah meant to the two of them. And in that regard, I just want to share one thing related to the eulogy I gave in 2016 for Al in this week's Torah portion. This week, we study about the conduct of the priests. And what's odd is that the Reform movement a century ago wanted to have little to do with the book of Leviticus because the movement felt it wasn't that important and germane to us now that the temple is gone and no officials to sacrifice animals to God. It wasn't really as necessary. But in the last few decades, it has become more important because we find moral teachings and moral lessons. And in both the book of Exodus and the prophet Isaiah, there is this profound desire for the people to be a kingdom of priests, a holy nation, knowing full well that the temple at some point would no longer stand. So what does that mean? It can't possibly mean that we're hoping, in our view, that the temple is going to be rebuilt. We're going to need these priests to do this prescribed ritual. But in this Torah portion, it also prescribes how priests are supposed to behave in public. And that's the embodiment that was really part of the Reform movement, where we're to be a kingdom of priests, a holy nation. And it's in the temple, there were prescribed rituals they had to do every day for the world. And then in the neighborhoods where they lived, there were random acts of ritual or kindnesses that they were supposed to do for the world. And one of the ritual kindnesses that Al and Sylvia did was something couples don't do very often. And Al and Sylvia every night would turn to each other and say, "I love you." And that ritual is so meaningful and so very important. It's not enough to have said "I love you" once on your wedding day, but to acknowledge the benefit of that relationship each and every day. They did that. And in our presence, they did that as well. And the last thing was the last words of my eulogy in 2016 was something that Rabbi Weizenbaum taught. And I said, God has given each of us a gift for which we are to say, thank you. So as we thank God for this great gift of life, I ask those who would like to, you don't have to, but for us to rise for the El Molei Rachamim, the prayer seeking God to fully embrace Sylvia in the arms of divinity. El Molei Rachamim, Shochen Bamromihim, Hamsei Menocha Nechonaha, Tachat Kanfei HaShechina, B'malot Kiroshim U'Tohorim, K'zohar Harakia Mazirim, Et Nishmat Sima Bat Shmuel V'Tzilia, Shahalacha La'olama, Began Eden, Tehei Menuchata, Ana Baal Harachamim, Hastirehu Beseter Kenafecha La'olamim, Vitzror HaChaim Et Nishmata, Adonai Hu Nechalata, V'tanuach B'Shalom Al Mishkavaha, V'nomahar Omein. O God, exalted and full of compassion, grant perfect peace beneath the shelter of your wings among the holy and the pure, to the soul of our dear one who has gone to her eternal home. Source of mercy, we beseech you, remember all the worthy and righteous deeds she performed in life. May her soul be bound up in the bond of eternal life. God is her portion. May she rest in peace. And let us say, Amen. Thus, with hearts purified by sorrow and with faith in you, renewed by this service, we dedicate this stone to the loving memory of our dear mother, grandmother, and friend, great-grandmother, and in so doing, we express our faith in words of our ancestors. So what I'd like is for the family to read the Kaddish and for the friends to read the responsive parts. So if the family would begin, Yitkadal. Amen. Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabba Mevorach Leolam Ulameo Maya. Brichu. Amen. Yehei Shlomo Rabba Min Shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. Osei shalom b'mramav hu ya'asei shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru Amen. May God grant peace to those who mourn and comfort to those who are bereaved among us. So the very last paragraph on the on your pages, for those who wish to, is a meditation or a kavanah, an intention, for those who want to place a stone or a pebble on the headstone of Al and Sylvia.